Hello and welcome, I'm CuddlyJay, and today we'll be looking at a PvE budget build for the Sword and Shield. So, let's get straight into this, shall we? So, we're starting off with the Broadsword, and I've decided to go with Heroic Strike to strike the targeted enemy, dealing 198 physical damage. It applies 1 heroic charge on you, and then each of these heroic charges increases your move speed by 9% and your attack speed by 12% for 6 seconds. It stacks up to 3 times. Next, I've gone with Blade Cyclone. So this is just you aim where you want to go, you spin, you deal 102 physical damage up to 3 times to all enemies you pass through, and then if you have at least one of those heroic charges active on you, it'll consume it, and then it'll deal an additional 153 physical damage each time instead of the 102 physical damage. Then we of course have Mighty Blow. So this is a mobility damage crowd control ability. Basically you just pick your target, leap towards it, and then if they're spell casting, you can actually interrupt their spell, which is pretty handy, so it's good to have that little interrupt there. And then it deals physical damage based on the amount of heroic charges you have on you, so make sure you have 3, and then you'll deal the top damage, which is 690. And then for our passive, I just wanted more damage, so we went with Deep Cuts passive, which will inflict a bleed on the targeted enemy, dealing 42 physical damage over 1.5 seconds. For our offhand, we've got, of course, gone with the shield. On the server that I'm on, these are very cheap for the enhancement 2s, so you can, of course, get this about 5,600. I think I might have got this for a little bit cheaper than that. So yeah, go in your market there, your auction, and get this because it's super cheap indeed. So I wanted some Lifesteal because I just wanted some Lifesteal pretty much. I love the Mercenary Jacket. Some people probably think it's a bit odd, but I really like it for PvE. And you're just going to go with Bloodlust, of course, so you activate this. It'll restore 91 health whenever you deal direct damage within the next 6 seconds. Alright, and then for our passive, I went with Swiftness, so it increases our attack speed by 12%. The main reason I did this was because I wanted my attack speed to be a bit more faster, my auto attacks. So the next one we're going with is the Guardian Boots. Instead of soldier boots or anything like that, I went the Guardian boots because I wanted to go with this giant passive, well, not passive, but buff, I guess. You grow to a giant form, increasing your max and current health by 100% and your move speed by 25% for 8 seconds. I'm not doing this for the move speed, I'm doing it for the max and current health by 100%. You just, grow into a giant, tanky giant, really. It's a cool ability. I don't think people use it as much as they should, and, in PvE, it's fun to use. And then we have Toughness for the defense passive, just to increase our defense some more. I want to do more damage, AoE damage, so I went with the Mage Cow. You can of course use this on single targets as well. It's not just for, big groups of enemies, but you're basically just going to go with Fire Breath. You pick where you want to shoot it, it'll fire, a breath of fire in a cone in front of you, dealing 378 magical damage over 3 seconds to all the enemies it hits. So if you do have a big group, make sure you hit them all, or do your best to, and that'll, damage them all. And then for our passive there, we went with Aggression, which increases our damage and healing cast by 3.5%. For our bag, we've just gone with a normal bag, and then for your cape, you actually have a few choices here. So if you can't go out of your budget that much, just go with a normal cape. They're affordable, they're easy to craft, no issues there. But if you can go out of your budget, I'm going to give you a couple capes to choose from here. So we're going to go with the Avalonian cape. This is to deal more damage. So this is called Force, Pulse. It's actually quite a cool ability. Activates when you perform a normal attack. So some of the previous footage, you probably saw me, hitting the enemies and like a lightning was coming out of me almost. That's what this was. Basically, you collect energy at your core for 0.5 seconds, and then you unleash that, dealing 296 magical damage to enemies in a 6-meter radius around you. It also reduces damage of enemies hit by 15% for 4 seconds. This is really good, so when I had, groups of enemies, I could just hit this off and deal damage to them all. It's really handy indeed. Now, if you can't afford that, you could try the Mlock cape. This activates when your health drops below 25%. Protect yourself with a shield, increasing your defense by 50% for 5 seconds. Maybe, you don't really like this. Your health is going down too low or something. Well, get the Mlock, cape. Then for our potions and all, I've gone with Poison Potion. This is just for single targets usually. Bigger bosses and so forth. If I'm, struggling with them, I can just throw this onto them, deal more damage to them. And then, of course, I go with my famous Carrot Soup because it's cheap. And in between combat, my health, regenerates faster by 100% for 30 minutes. Overall, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. This is just a quick Sword and Shield budget PvE build. And then, of course, if you can go out of your budget a little bit, you can deal more damage with that Albion cape. So yeah, let me know how it goes. And of course, I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.